Field in Chicago. It's Week 17 of the NFL on EA Sports. Jackson and the Chicago Bears taking on Mitchell Trubisky and the Green Bay Packers.
We've had a lake effect snow band sitting over Soldier Field since about 9 this morning, and it's not supposed to budge anytime soon. The good news, the folks don't seem to mind here in Chicago. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. Fields it in the middle of the end zone, and they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. Leading them out, the reigning MVP of the National Football League in his third season now from Louisville, it's Lamar Jackson.
Well, I know one thing in baseball, you want to have your closer, right, to finish off games. How about finishing off a season? Last week, Week 16, he was the NFC Offensive Player of the Week as he looks forward to this one here to close out the year.
And, of course, they'll have the playoffs to look forward to. Already clinched a berth there, but indeed a great Week 16. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
From the gun on third down, Jackson. And he's got Snead. And he 5 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. And Jackson throwing once more. And it's incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. On third down, Jackson. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Give the sack to Barkevius Mingo, the former number 6.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
Well, you know, he hated taking the loss there on third down. Had just the one big play on the drive, but that was enough to put him in field goal range.
And one big play of what they hope will be many others throughout the game. Every team has a different target for the number of plays like that, those explosives that we talk about. That allowed them to put points on the board on that drive. Let's see how the rest of the game goes.
So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. Leading them out, their quarterback in his 4th season from North Carolina, it's Mitchell Trubisky.
Okay, I'm not taking a turn to negative town, even though it's going to sound like it. The 2 interceptions he threw last week, those obviously have to be eliminated, and that was the focus of practice this week. But let's face it, he did throw 3 touchdowns.
And they got the win.
And they got the win, so I think it was a good week for him to work on things. Had some positives, the win being first and foremost. Now he's just got to eliminate those interceptions.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. This is Saquon Barkley, and they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on first down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
From the 35 on second down, Trubisky flush to his right. He'll run it. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one, picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. A first down carry for Barkley. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 20 carries, 87 yards.
One thing I do know, teams in the NFL don't treat this like a pitcher throwing a no-hitter. It's been mentioned all week long about going out and getting him the rushing title. He'll see the...
And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Saquon Barkley, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Packers have taken the lead. A solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there. Each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
To throw is Jackson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Now left side on the swing pass. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
On 3rd down, it's Gibson. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Jackson from the shotgun. He finds his man, the tight end Olsen. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. A look at the numbers from last week for Olsen. 5 catches, 54 yards.
And he was able to get open there, but that's not always easy against this bunch defensively. We are deep enough into the season where numbers count. This is #1 rated defense in the NFL. He'll have a tough time.
And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
At the 31-yard line.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
He's tackled at the 20.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd. Jackson. Caught by Snead over the middle. And he will have give the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
On first down, Gibson. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
From the 17, Jackson and Olsen over the middle. And the Bears are going to have a first and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
7-yard line.
From the gun, Jackson. The quick slant caught. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Greg Olsen, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bears have retaken the lead.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Packers take over first and 10.
Now come the Packers for their next drive as we take a look at the playoff race in the NFC coming into the weekend. And the division title, that's out of reach. We know that. This is as good a spot, Charles, as they're going to get, that first wild card and the number 5 overall seed.
Partner's not out of the question, especially with the 7 seeds that they have now in the playoffs. If you do win and the other wild card teams win in the first round, you could find yourself with a home game in the divisional round. Now, we know that's not likely, but it's not out of the question. Bottom line, you have to win to put yourself in that position. They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
That last completion certainly not what they were hoping for, as now they'll try to convert on third. Play fake. Here's Trubisky. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call.
And the key number on that play, 3. Third play of the drive. 3rd down. Spectacular catch. Turns into a first down.
First down saves him from a 3 and out. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And a Packer first down.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. Once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Saquon Barkley with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Packers have retaken the lead. Boy, Saquon Barkley, nothing short of electrifying with a football in his hands, and he showed off one of his biggest attributes on that one. that is his speed.
And there's an old chestnut of an expression called getting on your horse. And I hate to use it, but I'm going to right here because it absolutely applies. How about the head of steam he had behind him? He was absolutely galloping downfield. That was something to see.
Jason Sanders set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds. So really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10 at their own 42. From the gun, it's Jackson. And caught left side, Olsen. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll make it 2nd down. Looking downfield for Jones. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones, his intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
I think he just made the punter a little bit jealous there. There was some serious hang time on that ball. Deep downfield, and while it didn't connect, it certainly sent a message, didn't it?
And a quick throw here, that's complete. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. Brought in left side by Snead. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 1st half. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Again, Jackson. And he'll complete this to Gibson. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down.
That might feel like a little bit of lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. What a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the 1st half. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He made his first attempt, this from 45. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. And that one will bounce out of the back zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. Now, both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively, just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. From the shotgun is Trubisky. The open man here, Renfro. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
A gain of 4 yards. First down.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. He finds his target. It's Schultz. 7 yards the pickup there.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. 15 yards on the play, first down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Trubisky now off the bootleg. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
2nd and 10. It's Trubisky again. Eluding the pressure right. He goes right back to Higgins, and this time he's got him. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. And despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. Second down. Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now, hotly contested in the third quarter. Throwing again on second down. Trubisky, and this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. Hunter Renfrow is the man he was looking for, and it's third down. More, it's Trubisky. Buying time to his left. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Taking it in from 14 yards out. And the Packers add on to their lead.
Well, they were backed up on 3rd and goal, and when you saw him start to scramble, my thought process was he'll get what he can and maybe get out of bounds. But he got a little bit greedy there. And in this case, greed was good as he got into the end zone.
So now Trubisky will lead his guys to the line. They'll go for 2 here. And Trubisky's going to keep it. Here's a quick throw right side. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. So they try to make it a 2-score game with a conversion. It pays off.
And they've looked at the situation, figured it out well. A 2-score game in this situation, they've got to feel much better about where they are.
From the 6. And he returns this to the 22.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They'll run on first down. It's Gibson. Tavon Wilson up to make the tackle.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
From the 45 on second down, Jackson firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 16 yards, a first down. And that catch, he just hit number 800 in his NFL career.
And just think, that puts you in top 35 range all time in the NFL in terms of number of catches. One significant guy in that number, Shannon Sharp, who was a tight end. That's big-time play right there.
Caught on the right side by Jones. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. And until that point, we haven't seen Julio Jones. That's hard to believe here this late in the game.
And no one more frustrated than Julio Jones, because receivers feed off of catches. That's their fuel, and that's also their affirmation. He hasn't been getting much of that in this game, and their team is losing, and he wants to have a better effect on the game.
Just the first connection, Ryan to Jones there.
1st and 10 at the 28-yard line.
Jackson on first down. Underneath, he's got Olsen. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Give him 16 yards on the play. And it'll move the chains. Now 1st and 10 at the 11. Back now at Soldier Field. It's Bears football, but they trail on the scoreboard as we get set to bring you the 4th quarter. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Willie Snead. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears draw a bit closer. So very late in the game here, but with that score, some light at the end of the tunnel.
There's still hope. Now they look at the score and say, hold on a second. This thing's not over yet. Let's keep battling.
Extra point through the snowflakes, something good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And you can see they're in 2nd place in the division, but they have clinched postseason football. That's the important thing. They currently have the best record among the wild card contenders, but they want to make sure they finish this season strong.
And isn't that the case each and every year about one division? It ends up being the top-loaded division, and unfortunately this year, it's theirs. But you could spin it and say, hey, they've been tested, and they've beaten a lot of good teams already. They will be prepared for the playoffs.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They'll go to Barkley again. And they'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this 4th quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the 4th quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play. When a good play is made on defense, oftentimes leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned, all the other guys making sure they're in the right spot, and on that play, they were able to stop them short of a first down.
They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that, but by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. Now this pass into the hands of Saquon Barkley. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 16 and a first down for the green and gold. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. He'll buy some time right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Rookie wideout T. Higgins, his intended receiver. But it's going to be 2nd down.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
And it's 3rd down.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. Trying to power it ahead with Watt. And he's taken down inside the 30. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
A gain of 12. First down, Packers.
Looking to throw, Trubisky on 1st down. This to Jarwin. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Well, clear running situation. Try to take time off the clock. You ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit him over the top.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. It'll be a gain of 4, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. They'll run it again with Barkley. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the 4th quarter. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal as they search for what could be a game-sealing touchdown. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
Touchdown.
Well, that was absolutely ideal for them, wasn't it? Trying to salt this game away. I think one of my kids just graduated in the amount of time they had the football. That was absolutely impressive.
Everybody wants those salt-away-the-game drives. What makes them successful?
Well, when you're able to mix run-pass, when you're able to control the football and stay ahead of the chains, I'm using every cliche I know, but that's how you get it done because you're not taking negative plays, and that way you're able to run what you want to run when you get a chance to call it.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation. This time, unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
Now Jackson. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. And in Week 17, let's hope this won't affect him for the playoffs. We'll step aside. And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And in Week 17, let's hope this won't affect him for the playoffs. We'll step aside. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield, and that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Throwing now is Jackson. It's caught. Jones. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. To throw again is Jackson.
Partner, you know when we call a game, we talk about Lamar Jackson and his speed, his elusiveness, and the ability to get him on the ground, how tough that is for a defense. But how about his development as a thrower, as a professional?
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Jackson to throw. A slant to Jones. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
You know, Lamar Jackson last season, the first NFL quarterback with 3,000 or more passing yards and 1,000 or more rushing yards in the same season.
And we see both of those talents on display here today. We just saw another completed pass, and everyone knew coming out of college he could run the ball. But for some reason, we didn't analyze it throwing the way we should have. I think every time he completes a pass, he says to himself, take that, evaluators. You guys really missed the boat on me.
And right around the 20, he'll head out of bounds. 10 yards is the pickup there, and that should just about put a bow on this one.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say, don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. Throwing now is Trubisky. Open man is Higgins. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Looky here, Trubisky wants to throw it. And that is intercepted by the Pro Bowl corner, Darius Slay. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49. Yard line.
The Bears take over 1st and 10.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They have a little bit of time left here, but this one not going to go their way.
And this is where, in this situation for me, you just go ahead and run out the clock, shake hands, congratulations, and move on. Because now, you're not going to make up for what's happened during the game in this last sequence.
We'll see what they do here in this last sequence. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
Here's Jackson. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. They'll look to throw.
We'll find Gibson here complete.
And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
down. First and 10 at the 20-yard line.
From the red zone now, here's Jackson on first down. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock.
Incomplete.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. One last shot for Jackson. And this is incomplete. So no miracles here on the final play. And this ball game is over.
Bears 20.
Well, Charles, exciting to the very end. That's what we just saw in this game. Final play there, had it in the red zone. But anytime you're outside of the 10, that's tough. Trying to draw up a final play to get in, and they couldn't do it.
It certainly is. So what they were looking for was, extra time. Too bad it's not FIFA soccer, right? Where you get a little bit of extra, and you get a chance to run a couple more plays and maybe get closer and take that last shot into the end zone.
So for Green Bay, a final win means they will finish off the regular season at a very strong 12-4. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for the Bears, this was basically just an exhibition game for them as they'd already clinched home field advantage.